right, so I'm back. It's been a minute since I recorded a video. What was that last video I recorded? Was that the Devin Allen video? Was the last one I recorded? Or it's been a long time. I don't even remember off the top of my head. I think it might have been the live stream to the first half of the Nets Cavs playing. But it's been a long time since I've actually recorded a video. Oh, it was the mock draft, a 3-round mock draft. It's been so long I had to look up my last video. But yeah, obviously, as you can tell, I've been away from YouTube. I mean, I haven't been keeping up with what's been going on. I haven't recorded any videos or anything. I mean, for anyone who's been following my channel for all intents and purposes, they think I'm dead at this point. Because I haven't done anything here in a long time. But now I'm back. So get that way. Now that I'm back, I mean, I'm not going to really be recording videos on a regular basis because, I mean, I got a bunch of others because I got a bunch of other stuff going in my life. I mean, to give you so you guys understand better, Desert Eagle 90, how because he's a truck driver and he's also a father, so he's got other things going on. He's not up here uploading videos every day. He's got other things going on in his life. He's not uploading videos every day like Joey Shake 72, Run It Back Philly, and all those guys. I mean, I'm kind of in a similar position where I got a full-time job myself. I got other obligations outside that I'm focused on. So I'm not going to be on here recording videos every day. So, I had to cut back on making some of these videos. I mean, I enjoy coming up on here, talking to you guys, seeing you guys in the live chat. I mean, I enjoy all that, but hey, you know what? I got other things I got to focus on too in life. So I'm not going to be on here as frequently. I mean, I'll still be sharing my vids on Twitter. I'll still occasionally, I'll be on Twitter a little bit. I mean, I'll still be watching other people's vids, commenting, joining some live streams here and there. I'm not going to be on here on a regular basis. I mean, because like I said, I got other obligations I got going on in my life, one of them being a full-time job. So get that out the way so you're not going to be seeing as much from me. But let's get to it. So I got the Lebanon background. I got the Eagles on your left-hand side of the screen, and on your right, the Sixers. I'm going to talk a little bit about both today. So with the Eagles, so the draft just passed. I mean, it's not a whole lot to say about this draft yet because these guys got drafted haven't even stepped on the field yet. Let's be real about it. These guys haven't even played a down yet in the NFL. So let's actually see what happens before we judge things. Now, I will say this about this draft, though. So I'm going to pull up my screen, pull up the entire draft in just a minute. So, yeah, obviously we know we had a big first round, made a big move right there, which I'll get to that in a second. You guys already know what move I'm talking about. So I'm going to pull it up so I can read it off verbatim. So full list right here it's from NBCsports.com. Wait, hold on. Go take a recap right here. So we did some moves there were some moves that I liked and some moves I didn't like. I mean, again, this is judging in early on. I mean, you got Jordan Davis, obviously number 13 pick. We traded up with the Houston Texans because we always do that. We always trade up or trade back. It's always something with Howie Rosen. But in this case, it was trading up with the Houston Texans. And we selected defensive tackle Jordan Davis from Georgia. Now, this is a good one right here. At least we got a defensive tackle who at least people knew who the hell he was before they drafted him. So, we got a guy in Jordan Davis who at least has a name. He can help, the perfect spot for him is right in the center of the defensive line. Because that's going to force teams to build their plays around him. It's going to force teams to try to work around Jordan Davis being right in the middle right there. And that's what we're hoping happens with the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, time will tell if that actually works out. But so far, that looks like a solid first pick. Definitely better than Jalen Reagor over Justin Jefferson. And that definitely looks better than that. So already on paper, it looks like good upside right here. But time will have to tell if it pans out. I mean, we thought Andre Dillard was a solid pick back in 2019. Well, we all know that panned out. Now, I'm not saying Jordan Davis is going to be a bust like Andre Dillard. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is just because a pick looks good at the time, it doesn't mean that it is. We're going to still have to wait and see if it actually pans out is the point I'm getting at. So, yes, it's just because it looks good on paper doesn't mean it's actually going to pan out. We'll have to see if it actually does, though. I mean, I'm obviously hoping it pans out. But Jordan Davis, yes, that looks like a good one right there. And then the trade steal of the draft. So what is it? We traded number 18 and pick 101. We traded it to the Tennessee Titans for A.J. Brown. We actually pulled up a draft day trade for another team's top wideout. I mean, you know what? Is it worth it? Was it worth it? Time will tell, but so far it definitely looks good right there because we need some help at wide receiver. I mean, we've needed that help for years now. And we got a top option in the passing game. I mean, Devontae Smith, okay, he had a great, nice rookie year, but all due respect to him, we need more than just that. I mean, A.J. Brown, we're getting a top wideout from another team. We're getting a top wideout that's still young because what is A.J. Brown, like 25? So we're getting a top wideout who still has some years left, who he could, if things work out and he loves Philly, he could possibly be here 5, 6, 7 years possibly. So there's a lot of upside coming out of this. We finally got our top option. We know A.J. Brown's going to be the top option in this 2022 season. I mean, we definitely need that upgrade because throughout free agency, we didn't pull off any spectacular trades. We didn't get Tavares Landry. We didn't get Tyreek Hill. Obviously, we didn't get Amari Cooper. We didn't pull off a trade for Devontae Adams, obviously. They all got traded elsewhere or signed elsewhere. But we did do, now we almost made up for it. We pretty much made up for it draft night, getting A.J. Brown. So that's a good thing right there. I mean, because with all due respect to Zach Pascal and Devin Allen, but Zach Pascal, I mean, he's a solid receiver. He's not a scrub, but he's not a number one wide receiver. He's the guy you look. Zach Pascal's the guy for a team that has an elite receiver and doesn't really have much depth outside of that. That's who Zach Pascal fits best with, in my opinion. He's best if you already got an elite receiver, but you still need some more depth. That's where I feel he's best as a receiver. So we got him. I mean, he's better than Jay Jaw and Jalen, like I said, but not the best option. So got that. We got Devin Allen, who he hasn't played a down of football since 2016. I mean, I don't like that one. It just looks like I just don't see it working out. I don't. So, but now we get A.J. Brown. We got, I mean, that's a great move right there. So, at least, hopefully it will be a great move years from now. But what else do we got? We got from Nebraska center Cam Jurings with 51st pick. And, we're hoping he's the heir apparent to Jason Kelce. I mean, time will tell if he is. I mean, we did get two linebackers. We got 83rd. We got Nakobe Dean from Georgia. So we got two Bulldogs on our team now. And this looks like another good pick for linebacker. So it looks like we get two good picks right here. I mean, again, I'm not going to go too much into it yet because time will tell if it actually pans out or not. So we got to need at linebacker. And we got to need, we got our wide receiver covered with that A.J. Brown trade. And we also got help with the defensive line. We got a center we're hoping is the heir apparent to Jason Kelce when Jason Kelce steps down. But time will tell on those. And Wells, we also got Kyron Johnson from Kansas was our other linebacker in the 6th round, pick 181. Then we got pick 198, got tight end Grant Calcaterra, SMU. I haven't even heard of that guy. So someone I've even heard of. I don't even know how that's going to work out right there. But, I mean, so far it's a little early to tell right there. But the one thing I was disappointed with is we didn't go for a secondary. That's the one thing that disappointed me the most about this draft. Because we really need help in the secondary. I mean, yes, we got Darius Slay. And we don't really we got Ron. Who else do we have there? I mean, we saw Steven Nelson went to the Texans. So we lost a key piece there. I mean, who else do we really have there that's a reliable option? Right now, I mean, we don't have any reliable options, really. So we definitely should have gotten somebody. I was thinking we could have either gotten, with that number 13, either Kaiir Elam or Trent McDuffie somewhere in the 1st round. So or at least come back later and try to get a guy. the secondary. Now, I know maybe why the Eagles didn't do it. They're still hoping the Honey Badger Tyrann Mathieu signs with them. I get that. But there's no guarantee that he's going to sign him. No, he hasn't signed anywhere. Yeah, I know. Yep, agree completely. I mean, right. And as I was saying, I understand now they're looking to try to sign Tyrann Mathieu. They're looking to save some room if they get him, but there's no guarantee we're going to sign him. It's not guaranteed we're signing Tyrann Mathieu. And for all we know, he could go sign with the Saints, or as I'm doing this live stream, he could have already signed elsewhere. For all we know, I mean, I'll know whether or not he signed when I'm finished, but the point being is there's no guarantee it's going to happen. So you should have gotten someone for the secondary while you had the option to. So I was disappointed with that right there. So my takeaways from the draft are the best thing we did, we pull off the trade for A.J. Brown. Did we give up too much with those 2 picks? That will be told with time. But obviously, if we were going to make a big splash for a wide receiver, we had to give up something. We had to sacrifice something. And we did. Sacrificed a couple picks. Trade up with the Titans. We got our, we sacrificed a couple picks. And we got our guy, A.J. Brown. Now, the Titans took our pick and turned it into Treylon Burks. But for us, though, that was a good move with A.J. Brown. The disappointment, obviously, being we didn't get anybody in the secondary. And, yeah, like I said, I pretty much said everything I was going to say about the Eagles and their draft. So now, I'm going to switch topics. I'm going to switch my shirt. You guys didn't follow me. You can tell by the screen. You know what I'm going to talk about next. That's obviously the Philadelphia 76ers. So I'm going to switch my shirt. To talk a little bit about the Sixers and what's been going on with them. All right. So now, obviously, got the Sixers show. Now we're going to talk a little bit of NBA playoffs. So I didn't do any videos for the first round. I completely missed out on that. When we beat the Toronto Raptors, which we should have, that's no surprise there. But even then, the disappointment is it really took us 6 games to beat the Raptor. I mean, we blew games 4 and 5. And after blowing that, there was a good chance for a second there that we were going to blow the series. It looked like we might. But fortunately, we didn't. But still, just the fact that we let the Raptors, we let them win those 2 games when we probably should have swept them or beat them in 5. That's obviously a red flag right there, obviously. Oh, I'm going to pull up my screen to NBA.com because I'm going to be pull that up because I'm going to go over some numbers for the first game against the Heat, for game 1 against the Heat in a moment. But I know, as I was saying, we let the Raptors off the hook. I mean, we beat them, granted, but we made it more. They shouldn't have won those 2 games. I mean, at most, they had business only winning 1 game at most. We shouldn't have took them to freaking game 6. We shouldn't have even been worried that we were going to blow the series, which happened. But we did get through it. And as far as this guy, Joel Embiid, goes, we just get no good luck with it, do we? We don't have any good luck come our way because it's always something with the injury bug with Joel Embiid. It's always something. First, it's a finger fracture. It's going to require surgery. And now it's a head and other injury, putting him out indefinitely game 1 and game 2. I mean, Embiid decided he's going to put aside surgery. He's going to risk his health for this team. He wanted to go out there and play and say, I'm going to put off the surgery till the offseason. I'm going to go out there and help this team win. He did that last year. He went out there and played against the Atlanta Hawks when he shouldn't have been playing, but he did anyway because he wanted to help this team. And here he is again when he's supposed to have surgery on his thumb, but here he is. He's out there playing his thumb or his finger, whatever it was. But yeah, he's out there playing again, but then he gets another injury that puts him out for at least 2 games. He was out in game 1, which, speaking of game 1, I'm going to get to that now. In game 1, I mean, I was surprised we actually made it close. I'm surprised we kept up with them throughout most of the game without Embiid there. On the road against the Miami Heat, I mean, and James Harden, Tyrese Maxey, Tobias Harris had to step up and play. And Tobias Harris, I mean, he actually had a solid game. Game 1, he had 27 points, 11 for 18 shooting field goals. I mean, he made 80% of his free throws. I mean, where is this Tobias Harris all season long? He should have been playing like this all along. Not waiting till it's in panic mode, not waiting until the Sixers hit panic mode going into pivotal game one against the Miami Heat on the road, down their star player. So they got lucky. So why was that Tobias Harris all along? And we're just lucky he at least bothered to show up and play. We're just lucky we kept it close right there. As far as Tyrese Maxey, I mean, he tried his best, but it wasn't his best performance at all in game one. And James Harden, I'm sorry, man, but he's looking washed at this point. He's looking like his best years are behind him. He only had 16 points. And what else? Well, okay, so he was 5 for 13 on field goals, 2 for 7 shooting threes. I mean, he was shooting bricks all game. He was. I mean, it's terrible. I mean, we had Paul Reed. We tried to put him in there. I mean, he didn't do so well. He didn't play that great either. But the thing is with Paul Reed, we should have gave him more playing time during the regular season. It's possible if we gave him more playing time during the regular season, say in games against the Detroit Pistons, Indiana Pacers, the loss in the Los Angeles Lakers, possibly in those situations against the Hornets, etc. Those teams, he could have had more playing timing, which could have helped get his confidence up. Because I advocated about a few weeks ago when Paul Reed had to play against, what was it, the Pacers or the Pistons he had to play, and I was like, man, he should have gotten more playing time against these garbage teams throughout the regular season. I thought the best way to have done it with Paul Reed would have been start giving him more playing time against the garbage teams to help him build his confidence up so he can go out there and play well, at least do good enough where he can at least shine, help him get his confidence up. And that could be boost momentum going forward for the guy. But they didn't do that. Instead, they barely played him, and now you're only playing him because you have to in a pivotal game one against the top team in the Eastern Conference, in the Miami Heat. Now, it's not to say that if Paul Reed got more playing time that he would have played great in this situation, because obviously we'll never know because that's not the road the Sixers went down. But still, he went in there with barely any playing experience, having to go against the top team in a playoff game. So obviously, he wasn't going to do that well, even if he did have time to develop. So obviously, no, he wasn't going to do that well, mainly because he didn't have time to develop. I mean, so that's the main thing right there. And then it was game 2 tonight. Like, what time is it? Hold on, let me check right here. So what is it? Game 2 tonight at 7:30. We got game 2 tonight at 7:30. And there's a good chance we could be down 2-0 here. I mean, I was surprised we actually kept it close on game 1. No, Tobias Harris, he went out there and did his best offensively to help us out. And I give him props for that. But do you really trust Tobias Harris to be consistent, to carry the momentum over and have another excellent scoring game? Do you trust Tobias Harris to do that? I mean, I don't. At this point, I don't see us getting past the Miami Heat. I mean, I've been seeing the writing on the wall the past month or so with the Sixers team that, look, they're not going to get past the second round. I mean, they'll get past the first round, which they did. They're not going to get past the second round. And look at that embarrassing regular season loss against the Pistons. We let the Bucks back into the game back in March. And then we ended up being against the Raptors. We blew 2 games, which we probably should have won either 4 or 5, but we ended up winning in 6. So that was a bit of we made it tougher than it should have been against the Raptors. So there was that right there. So there have been signs that this team has its flaws and that could catch up to them in the playoff. And here it is now. You got Joel Embiid. He's out to game 2. Still no word on whether or not he's going to make it back for game 3. It looks like he's going to be. Signs are indicating they will be, but there's no guarantee of that. It's just, I don't know. I mean, I think a good chance we go down 2-0. I mean, if we do get Joel Embiid, we might have a chance here, but I just don't see it happening. I mean, we might be able to, I don't know. I could see us maybe taking it 5 or 6 games here, possibly at best. But I don't know, with James Harden looking like he's washed up. I mean, Tobias Harris, you can't trust him to pull through. You can't right there. I mean, you don't know if Embiid's going to be healthy. Even if he is, I mean, he could probably go out there and play his best, but do you think that's going to be enough to carry us to his best of 7 series win against the Miami Heat? Especially if, say, he comes back game 3 and we're down 2-0, or even if we do somehow win tonight and he comes back game 3, do you really think he's going to be able to do enough by himself to help this team? I mean, and Tyrese Maxey, okay, maybe he comes back, he has better games, but I think at this point, the best chances of winning are Joel Embiid, realistically speaking, to come back, and Tyrese Maxey to step up. I think those are realistically the best chances we have at this series are Embiid and Maxey to play at their best. I mean, obviously, as well, we could have Tobias could play well on a consistent basis, but I don't see it happening with him. Not at this point. I think the best we're going to get is probably Embiid and Maxey. If Embiid does return, trying to help carry us, maybe to possibly game 6. we even make it to game 7. That would be a surprise in itself. But at this point, I don't see it happening. I see another second round elimination on the horizon for the Sixers right there. So, I mean, we got game 2 tonight. We'll have to see what happens. Chances are we're going to lose again, be down 2-0. Maybe we do pull off an upset. We'll see what happens, though, right there, though. But I don't have a whole lot of expectation for the Sixers making it past the Heat in this series. I mean, especially with James Harden looking like he's washed up. Embiid, I mean, we don't even know if he's going to play or not. And if he does play, we don't know if he's going to injure himself worse. I mean, we don't even know if he does play, if he'll make it through the series at this point. I mean, I'm hoping he does, but there's still some doubts there. Or will he even be at his best if he does play? And these things do come into question too. I mean, I don't trust Tobias Harris. And Doc Rivers is a coach. We know he's blown the most series leads of any NBA coach in history. Most playoff series leads of any NBA coach in history, Doc Rivers has blown. So do you really trust Doc Rivers, the guy who's made a career out of blowing series leads, to help us when we're struggling? I mean, realistically, Sixers fans, ask yourself that. I don't see it at all. So, yeah, I don't have much hope for this series right here. It's not much else to say, though. Except I do want to say, while we're still at it, I mean, although the Grizzlies and Warriors, they've had a couple good games, and they're going back. You had 2 close back-to-forth games. You had Ja Morant last night with 47, and the Grizzlies win. And that's a good series right there. And even I got the Bucks and Celtics both traded blowouts right there. I mean, it's going to be an interesting series what happened. I mean, yesterday you had Tatum and Brown looked unstoppable in their blowout wins. So let's see what happens from there. If they're just going to trade blowouts or whatnot. But I'm thinking whoever wins that series between the Bucks and Celtics is probably going to be the team that plays in the NBA Finals representing the Eastern Conference. So I'm thinking either Celtics or Bucks are going to be the Eastern Conference representative in the NBA Finals. Probably going against, I'm going to say most likely either the Phoenix Suns or the winner of this. I'm going to say probably the Phoenix Suns maybe. Because even if the Grizzlies do get past the Warriors, I don't think they're quite ready for the finals yet. So I'm thinking we're possibly talking about either Suns-Bucks rematch or possibly a Suns-Celtics series. And that's my opinion right there. Yep, you're right. You're talking about that one from the Clippers when he blew against the Nuggets. Yep, we remember that one right there. I mean, there's a lot of them. You could even go back to when he was with the Orlando Magic and they blew that lead against the Detroit Pistons in 2003. What was it? McGrady said something to the effect of, it feels so good to get past the first round before the series is over, and that came back to bite him. It was something along those lines. There was that all those years ago. Of course, there was the one with the Clippers, and he almost did it for us against the Raptors, almost. But yeah, the point being is, we know about it. There's at least 2 that I remember. The Clippers won against the Nuggets and all the way back with the Orlando Magic against the Detroit Pistons. Yeah, that's exactly why I don't trust Doc Rivers, who has able to blowing leads, to come through when we're struggling. Yeah, I pretty much said everything I was going to say right here. I talked about the Eagles and the Sixers. I gave my predictions on what I see the finals being at this point. And I pretty much all I got to say. So to everyone that tuned in the live stream, thank you for tuning in. Thank you, Quincy Smalls 89, for coming through the chat. Shout out to you. Also, make sure to feel free to like. If you're new, you haven't subscribed, do so. Also, feel free to share this vid. Most of all, have a wonderful day or night. Nikki Stee signing off, and I'll see you next time.